most of us met in the hip-hop shop days, which was around 94, 95.
Open mic weekends and on Saturdays, which I used to be the host there. Bazaar come through, M used to come through, the Brigade, which is Carnatus and Conniver and Swift was in Arabia then. We all was some different circles then, but we all, that's the origin of everybody right there at the hip-hop shop.
Who knew that this jeans and t-shirt store would produce Detroit's future rap legends? The hip-hop shop provided MCs with an open mic, but it wasn't like it was in the boogie down Bronx or Compton. Detroit was hip-hop's Wild Wild West, and the hip-hop shop was its OK Corral.
Everybody was supposed to take turns with the mic at the hip-hop shop. Just somebody spit a verse, you get like 30 seconds, and then you toss the mic, you know, you pass the torch to the next person. But when these guys would come in, they would instantly get handed the mic. Every time they come in the last 5 minutes of the shop, no matter who was rapping, cut the beat off and give the mic to Swift. They basically own the shop. If you was an unknown cat and you walked in, you wouldn't, you know, you'd have to wait your turn basically.
As an unknown MC, M had to earn his turn at the mic. But like his 8 Mile character Rabbit, it took a swift kick for him to finally spit.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy.
Proof was the one telling me, you know, yo, you gotta come down to the shop. They gotta hear you spit. You gotta spit. And I was like, I don't know. I was kind of reluctant to do it at first, and I was like, okay, let me go. I went there, got a reaction, and I was like, you know what? This is my thing.
Eminem's next step was to start recording his first independent LP, Infinite, in '96. Meanwhile, Proof had a master plan for his hip-hop shop All-Stars.
Proof had the idea of let's make the illest crew, 12 MCs, and we couldn't really find them at the time.
We went through different phases, picked up members, dropped members.
Proof, when, you know, started the clip, we all knew each other.
I brought Conniver in. I think Bazaar wanted Buzz in.
Bazaar brought him to the camp like, yo, you know, this my man's right here, he can spit. Bugs at the time was talking about Swift.
We started to become a crew, and it was to be like a Wu-Tang thing. You know, it was when Wu-Tang was like really just killing. So it was like right around that era. So we wanted to have a clique of like 12 of the dopest MCs from Detroit.
Finding 12 qualified MCs was hard, and holding on to the crew's lone white ranger was even harder. Eminem's solo career was taking off, shaving D12 down to 6. Creatively, each member channeled an alter ego, and finally the group had a dozen MCs. 6 in body, 6 in spirit. While the guys kept the Detroit hip-hop scene on lock, Eminem had crossed state lines. His EP had made its way to Dr. Dre on the West Coast, where he immediately snatched up M for his Aftermath label.
I kept my ear to the streets, signed Eminem, he's triple platinum, doing 50 a week.
Now the crew was leading 2 separate lives. While D12 ran Detroit's small hip-hop scene, M was living it up in L.A. with Dr. Dre. Within a year's time, M's album would climb the charts, turning him into both a cultural icon and one of hip-hop's power players. For Eminem the artist, there were awards, magazine covers, and adoration all around. But for Marshall Mathers the man, there was some unfinished business back in Detroit that was as important as any award.
We all had this bond, like whoever made it first would come back and get everybody else.
It was crazy. I remember having a conversation with these guys and you know, in my truck. I was like, look, I'm in position, we're starting our own label, you know, and they're gonna give us a deal. I wasn't really necessarily gonna be in the group. I just was going to sign D12 to Shady.
M kept his promise, and with Shady Records in place, his next plan was to take his voice D12 from the local mic to a global one.
They had their 6 MCs, and I would make a guest appearance.
But all it took was one tragic night to knock them off track.
3 shots were fired, killing Cornell Pitts.
We're not really sure what the whole incident was.
When we return, find out why Eminem's dream team was falling apart in front of his eyes.
Everybody was sitting on the bus, and the mood was just up, like, what are we gonna do? And now we only got 5 members.
How would personal tragedy change the Dirty Dozen? And how would a national tragedy change them again? D12's Easy Road was looking rockier than ever. In 1999, Eminem's album, the Slim Shady LP, went triple platinum, earning him hip-hop respect, but nationwide contempt.
In the paper, the news every day I am.
As the new poster child for homophobia and male chauvinism, M was a parent's worst nightmare. But for his hometown crew of aspiring MCs, Eminem was more hero than villain.
We had the pact where it was like the first one to make it, our crew was going to come back and get the other members of the group. I got this label deal at Shady basically for them, for the group.
6 hungry MCs, 1 superstar CEO, D12 was a go. But while success doesn't happen overnight, tragedy almost always does.
That is the sound of death as a party turns to pandemonium on Belle Isle.
We came off the road.
And I came home that Sunday and found out.
Police say 3 shots were fired, killing Cornell Pitts.
Cornell Pitts, also known as MC Bugs, was one of D12's best-loved members, both for his rapid-fire rhymes and easygoing character. But in a senseless act of violence, Pitts was brutally killed in broad daylight at a crowded Detroit park. The 21-year-old left behind a mother and 3 siblings in mourning, and the group changed forever.
Some guy was mad, man, because Bugs was getting the best of his boy, man. That's all. Couldn't take it like a man.
Came back, shot him in the face, shot him in the neck like 2 or 3 times and ran over him with a car.
Suddenly, instead of toasting to their bright future, the remaining members of D12 were faced with burying one of their very own.
It was such a shock, it just came out of nowhere. He was only 21 when he died.
About 2 weeks before that, me and Bugs did a song together in the studio like 7-8 hours straight. He represented, man.
It was a shame because he really was in his prime, when his life was taken away from him, and he was just about to get a major deal that really would have changed his life. Rest in peace, Cornell Pitts.
The senselessness of Bugs' death left a hole in D12's heart, and the timing of his death left a hole in D12's roster.
It's the way that it happens for us, because we still here.
When Bugs died, we needed another member. We needed a 6th member.
But how do you replace such a respected member of the family?
Now, I remember everybody was sitting on the bus and the mood was just up. I basically asked the group, is it cool if I take Bugs' place? Make it like the old days, like we was a group before anyways.
They all agreed, and the lineup of D12 was finally in place.
Con artist, Swifty, Conniving, Proof, Bizarre, and of course Marshall Mathers.